I want to talk to my ADHD entrepreneurs for a little bit today because I feel like that there is a message that I have been hearing over and over again that I want you all to hear. I've been listening to podcasts and books. I'm actually reading a book right now. It's called Speak Your Way to Cash. Really great book by Ashley Kirkwood. And part of this book that she talks about is she's saying that a lot of times as you evolve in your craft and you evolve in business, right? Your yes is going to eventually evolve and possibly dissolve. And I've heard this kind of in different wording through a lot of different people. So let me kind of explain. When you have a business and let's say you're a coach of some kind or a consultant or maybe you're a caterer or whatever the case may be, right? There are certain things that people are going to ask of you, right? They could ask for discounted things. They could ask, could you provide me extras? Could you, do this media appearance, whatever, right? And when you first start in business, you're going to have a tendency to say yes because somebody is buying from you or somebody is asking of you, and you are taught by yourself and by other people too, that if you do this, it's going to make a good reputation for your business. And to be honest with you, it probably will. But the problem is that when you do all those extra things, right, you're building the reputation as an expectation, not just something that you did because you were nice, right? So anytime you're doing these things, just know that you have to limit that energy in some sort of way, for the reasons being that you don't want to set an expectation that you are capable of doing this for everybody. And you might think that you are at this level, but what are you going to be in 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, right? You don't want to keep holding on to that expectation. Now, what the fuck does this have to do with ADHD exactly? I'm glad some of you asked. I'm assuming some of you were going to ask anyway. And this is a fair question because what does this really have to do with ADHD? This is actually kind of like a general entrepreneur thing. Why this is related to ADHD is because of rejection sensitivity dysphoria, because of your excessive need to not let others down. So let me explain. Someone without ADHD is more than likely doing this from the mindset of letting their business succeed. They can separate their own work and their own identity from the business. From you, it's kind of intertwined. And so if you are setting boundaries in your business, you yourself are letting people down, and it makes you feel like a sack of shit. Even if that shit is just perceived, at least you're more than likely to feel that compared to someone who doesn't have ADHD. And so a lot of times what happens with people with ADHD is that we go off of emotions and vibes. And I'm here to tell you that my biggest lesson I've learned in business is that you have to stop going off of emotions and vibes, and you have to start reeling in a little bit more on metrics, because if you're operating off of excitement, you're going to make decisions off of excitement. If you're operating off of shame and guilt, you're going to make decisions off of shame and guilt. And we're more prone to feel those feelings than somebody without ADHD. And so if you feel like you're disappointing somebody or you feel like you're letting someone down by setting boundaries in your business and you're not providing that extra thing for them, even though normally you would charge an up service or whatever the case may be, right? It doesn't really matter what business you have, right? If you're doing any of those things and you feel those overwhelming, shameful, guilty, nasty, sad feelings, you have to let yourself feel those feelings and let those feelings pass. You have to let those feelings happen. You're not supposed to prevent those feelings from happening. Otherwise, you're going to keep making decisions in your business that you can't keep up with. You won't make a profitable business. Or even if you are making a profitable business, you're going to have a stressed out business because you're going to be stressed out trying to go the extra mile for every single person. If you're going to go the extra mile, someone can pay for the extra mile. That is not mean. That is just fact. Now, there are going to be some times where you do want to just genuinely, like, I genuinely want to help this person. I've known this person for 30 years and I'm going to want to do that, whatever, right? That is an interpersonal decision that you are making, but just know there's a very also personal decision that you are making, right? And that should be an exception, a major exception. It should not be the expectation. It should not be the rule. And so if 95% of the time you're sticking to your business's policies, you're sticking to the own rules that you've set, you're sticking to your own interpersonal boundaries within your business, right? If you do that 95% of the time, you are building an expectation. If you give exceptions here and there, then they're going to feel much better, and you're going to be more exclusive with who you give these exceptions to, which means you're giving exceptions to people who actually genuinely need them, and that's going to make you feel a lot better in the long run.